Tubaniriza ku Highfield Think Tank TV Kasoma Farouk of Uganda. Lero tugenda kulaba the effect of World War II conferences on Southern Asia. Tugamba the major allied conferences of World War II, especially Tehran Conference, Yalta Conference, and Potsdam Conference, were primarily focused on Europe and the defeat of Axis powers, but their decisions and underlying dynamics had significant indirect and longer-term effects on Southern Asia. Tugamba wadde major allied conferences of World War II nga Tehran Conference, Yalta Conference ne Potsdam Conference zaali zifokasinze ku Europe n'okudefeating Axis powers, ne decisions ze baakola ne underlying dynamics zaalina effect nene on Southern Asia. For example, tugamba weakening of European colonial powers. Tugamba the war exhausted Britain economically and militarily. Nti Britain bajimalamu economically and militarily. At these conferences, allied leaders like Franklin D. Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and Joseph Stalin focused on post-war reconstruction rather than preserving colonial rule. Era tugamba anti-colonial ideas, including self-determination, strongly supported by Roosevelt, gained legitimacy. Nti ideas ez'amaanyi nga self-determination zaali nnyo mu conferences zino. Era tugamba kino kyakuleetinga condition accelerating independence movements in countries like India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. Chovolava, after these World War II conferences, zinensi ezimu zafuna independence. So ino never effect nene on Southern Asia. Ekirala the rise of self-determination and nationalism. Although not explicitly designed for Asia, the principles discussed in wartime diplomacy reinforced earlier ideas from the Atlantic Charter. Tugamba Atlantic Charter eya 1941 eyakolebwa emphasized the right of people to choose their government. Yawa abantu rights zaabwe okuchoosinga their government. Era these ideas were echoed indirectly in conference discussions about post-war order. Chovolaba oluvannyuma lwa conferences zino ensi zino zaafuna independence. Tugamba this strengthened nationalist leaders and movements such as those led by Mahatma Gandhi and Muhammad Ali. So tugamba nti kino kya strengthening nationalist leaders and movements ngeya Mahatma Gandhi era ne encouraging a mass political mobilization against colonial rule. Chovola oluvanyuma ensi zino zafuna independence. Ekirala strategic importance of Asia in wartime decisions. Even though Europe dominated the agenda, Asia was still strategically important. What the Europe dominating agenda, Asia was still strategically important. Tugamba the defeat of Japan was a key concept, particularly discussed at Potsdam. Nti Japan olwokuba bagiwangula kino kyayamba ensi ezimu Asia okufuna independence. So tugamba the Potsdam Declaration demanded Japanese surrender. Chovolaba, Japanese occupation of parts of Asia weakened the colonial control. Era tugamba, after Japanese defeat, European powers struggled to reassert authority, opening the door to independence movements. Kino kyayamba independence movement okubanga zagenda mu maaso. Ekirala emergence of the Cold War context. Tugamba the conferences exposed the growing tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union. Tugamba kyaleeta disagreement at Yalta and Potsdam ne kilayinga ground for Cold War. New independent countries in Southern Asia became strategically important in global politics. Chovolaba tulaba, countries like India adopted non-alignment, Pakistan aligned more closely with the Western Bloc. Kino ne kiyamba ensi zino okufuna obuyambi okulwanirira independence yazo. Acceleration of decolonization after 1945. The post-war settlement created at these conferences led to a global shift. Tugamba, European focus shifted to rebuilding at home. Nti European countries, oluvanyuma lwa conferences zino, za focusinga ku rebuilding at home. Kino ne kiwa bannansi mu zino ensi okulwana okufuna independence yazo. Kyova olaba, tugamba, nti partition of India and independence in 1947, rapid decolonization across the region in the late 1940s. So tugamba, the World War II conferences zayamba ensi zino okwetegekera okufuna independence. Tugamba, while the major World War II conferences did not directly decide the fate of Southern Asia, they reshaped global power structures in ways that weakened colonial control. Colonial control yali weakened, promoted self-determination, ensi zatandika okulwana okufuna independence, accelerated nationalist movements. Ntikyamba nationalist movement okujja, integrated the region into emerging Cold War politics. The region zali integrated into emerging Cold War politics. So overall, their indirect influence was crucial in shaping the political transformation of Southern Asia from colonial rule to independence. Osobola tugoberera ku YouTube, TikTok ne Facebook ebirala bingi bijja.